Hi. Heidi, I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Let's see. And maybe if you add yourself to the stage, we can hear you. Here.
It says you have to add me. There you go.
Oh, great. Here we are. Hi, welcome.
Awesome. I can't see you. Where are you?
I can see you on the bottom left.
I can see myself. I don't know. It's fine.
Awesome. Well, welcome. Let's see how many people we have here today.
Yeah.
Let's get into the chat. Hi, who do we have at Umbrella Properties? Highlight Nights, welcome. Welcome, guys. Well, I'll give you guys some introductions here. My name's Diane. I am the Director of Quality Assurance at Power Selling Pros. Been doing this for 5 years. Oh, hi, Nathan. You can't see us?
Can you see me, Nathan? I can see me.
Let's see if we can change this. Can you, Nathan, can you just see that this call may be recorded?
Okay.
Let's see if this is changing anything. Nathan, can you let us know?
Okay. He said yes. I also only see that this call may be recorded, Diane, and then I see myself. Yeah. Shout out to Bobby. Bobby's fantastic. I love her so much.
Yes. Big shout out to Bobby. Let's see if I can turn on.
Oh.
Hey, did that do it? We're good with technology. We got it.
We'll figure it out eventually.
Right. Awesome.
All right. Perfect. Can everyone see us now? There we go. Okay, good. All right.
All right, guys. So I'm Diane. I'm the Director of Quality Assurance at Power Selling Pros. Been doing this for 5 years. So really excited to go review some calls with everybody. Heidi, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Heidi. I am a coach and I'm also one of the mentors here at Power Selling Pros. And I'm excited to be doing this with Diane. I love her. As soon as she was like, I'm going to be alone if you're not there, I'll be there.
Thank you so much for coming, Heidi. Really appreciate your support.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, let's see. Looks like we've got some people from Light Nights and Umbrella Properties. Nathan, anybody else here? All right. Well, we are super excited to get started. We've got some great calls to review today. We've got some awesome strengths and some great opportunities to talk about today in the calls that we've got.
Yeah.
So let's just get started, shall we?
Awesome. I'm excited. I've never done this before. So,
well, we've definitely done a lot of call review, right?
I've never done it on like this call may be recorded. This is my first time on this platform.
Awesome. Well, we're super happy to have you. Very excited to do this together. Awesome. All right. Well, let's just get started, shall we? Let's get into a call here. Okay. And let me know, you guys, if you can hear it.
Thank you for calling. Can I help you?
Do I need to get somebody out to give me an estimate on replacing my AC?
Okay, and have we serviced your home before?
No, you haven't.
Can you guys hear that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Okay, what's the first and last name? And the home address? Okay, you are the homeowner, correct?
No, I'm his son.
Okay, so we would need him to call in and give you authorization to book appointments for this address, and then you will be able to call
I'm
in
the owner.
anytime.
Okay, I'm the owner.
You just said you were the son. We can't do that. He needs to call in and give you authorization.
He's right here with me. He's 82 years old and he can't hear. He'll be here during uh, the inspection or whatever to give the quote.
Okay, and how old is the current air conditioner?
Better than 20 years old.
And what is the square footage of the home?
What's your square footage? Under 1,200. Under 1,200, so 11 something. It was 11 something. Somebody else.
And would you like for the technician to wear a face mask or no?
No, he's fine. Crawl space. We do have a crawl space, so if he's got to measure things or whatever, he's got to get in there, which we've got a plenty big enough opening and everything for him to get under there real easy.
Okay, I'm gonna pause it there. What are you guys hearing so far? What are you hearing, Heidi?
I'm hearing a few opportunities here. So right off the bat, I gave that call flow as a big opportunity. You know, we want to start with our first 5 principles. We want to start with positivity, prepared, listen, care, and reassure. And I put that we had missed those ones. I didn't really give us a hit for them. So yeah, that was where I first began, was that call flow, and immediately listening and showing some empathy would have really improved this call right out the gate.
Absolutely. I agree with you there.
Yeah.
I did hear also some opportunities with her tone. She didn't sound super excited to be talking to her customer. And
Yeah.
she even kind of was a little bit antagonistic, I think, about the owner situation. So what would be a way that you would have approached that situation if you had been dealing with that, Nicole?
Yeah, if I had taken that call, I understand, we do want to speak to the homeowner, but I also think, there are those instances. I've called for my grandmother before. She's 87, and trust me, you would rather be talking to me than her. So it's going to work out better for us all. So I think there has to be some sense of creative thinking outside the box. They say they're right there. You can hear him clearly speaking with his owner. I think you have to give some grace in those situations. Obviously, we do have a policy to follow, but sometimes there has to be some exceptions, or we have to create a little bit of fluidity when it comes to those kinds of scenarios.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we just heard that this is an over 20-year-old unit. So
Mhm.
this is a big potential opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
This company. So here we are, we always like to say at Power Selling Pros that, CSRs are the first impression of your company. And if you do it wrong, we're the last impression. And so it's really important, especially with a big lead like this, that we are really making a great first impression with our customers. And I think there's just some things that she could have done a little bit differently to help ease that transition. And as you said, be a little bit more flexible with the policy on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe just saying, oh, well, we require the homeowner. Is your dad with you right now? Is there any way I could get some confirmation from him? Just taking the time to ask a quick question, and approach it with a bit more kindness and giving some grace there. That's how I would have reworded that.
Absolutely. I really would have loved to hear some, not just empathy, our care statements, but even a little bit of rapport. It would have been totally appropriate here with dealing with your 80, I think he said 82-year-old's owner, and with a 20-year-old system. So, there's different things that we could do in that circumstance to say that, wow, you got good life out of that system, and, different things that you can say to really kind of relate and make that connection. Because at the beginning of the call, we really are about making that connection, bridging that gap, and turning this business transaction into a friendship. And
Yeah.
so we really had an opportunity to kind of capitalize on that here that I wish I would have heard. But maybe the call gets a little better. Why don't we keep listening?
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
see what else we got.
Okay. Let me just check the schedule 1 second. Thank you for holding. Okay, so our first available will be Tuesday, August 2nd. And the times we have available is 9 a.m., 12 p.m., 3 p.m., and 6 p.m.
Tuesday at 3 o'clock. You got a morning doctor's appointment, but you should be home by 3. Okay. All right, we'll take 3 o'clock on Tuesday.
Okay. And then let me just see. Okay, so you'll be all set for Tuesday at 3 o'clock.
All right, thank you.
My pleasure. Have a nice day.
You too. Bye.
All right. So how did that call end? What do you think, Heidi?
As far as the ask principle goes, she did only give 1 day, but she did give options. So I did appreciate that she gave some time options to work with their schedule. But I do wish it would have been a bit more of an open-ended question. Yeah, I agree. It was a bit flat. There wasn't value at the end. Let's talk about our technicians. Like, let's say something nice about them, set them up to succeed, especially with something that's potentially as big of a job as this. I really would love to hear that value when this is going to be something that could be really beneficial for the company if we do sell it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a good time, especially if this ends up being a replacement situation. It's a good time to build value in our company and why it's worth it to go with us rather than our competitors. And so
Mhm.
it's an important feature to really let our potential customers and our customers know what they're getting with us and why we are superior to everyone else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I would have, definitely the company value, and there are also some service value. You could toss in about, the new systems we have to offer, or, just something small, even, we're going to give you a top of the line system or estimate to get this done for you to help get your father something that's going to, continue to work for him and take care of him. You could even throw in a little care wrapped into your value to really make it less flat, as she said.
Yeah. I think you really hit the nail on the head. As care could have gone throughout this entire call. We really could have put a lot more care in. And I like how Light Night said that they would give kudos to the guy for helping. Like, that's a great p- point of rapport that you could build with that customer, is that, well, thank you so much for helping, the owner of this home. And then, of course, in your value statement, we can really also really hit home with that reassurance, right? Because here is an elderly gentleman who, he's got a very old system. And so reassuring him at this point that we're going to take good care of him and that he's going to be in great hands is going to go far towards both the person who's calling and towards the gentleman who actually owns the home.
Yeah. And just to relay, if he's calling other companies, potentially getting estimates, he's going to remember this call and that he got some more pushback from this CSR.
Yeah.
And so he may end up going and choosing another company when their price points are similar, because he's like, I liked the other company's customer service more. That can go a long way when people decide to do an ongoing relationship with someone.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We know through years and years and years of market testing that people make buying decisions, purchasing decisions emotionally. They really do. Even people who think they're the most stringent price shoppers, they're really not. We all really want to spend money with people we like. And it makes a huge difference when we make that a positive experience for people. We hear it all the time at Power Selling Pros. People really will spend more money. So it doesn't even come down to price point for most people, even in this economy. Although we do know that in this economy, price point is still important. It's how we're backing that up and the value that we're bringing to the table that really makes that decision for your customer.
Yeah. And that's why we say, it's not just booking the call. This is a great example of you booked the call, but did you form a lifelong customer? Did you win this customer over and win that moment to create that potential ongoing relationship? And I would say this was a booked the call, but missed the moment.
Exactly. I agree. Kind of missed winning that moment, missed wowing that customer. But she did book it. So she got halfway there as far as what our goals are, because our goals are always to win the moment and book the call. So she did book it. So good job for her on that. And hopefully she's in some coaching so that we are able to help her on her next call and this next opportunity that she has.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Anybody in the chat have anything else they want to add about what they heard in this call before we move on to another one? Feeling good about that?
Okay.
All right, let's check this next call out. Let's see how this one goes.
Okay.
We're having a great day. This is how may I help you? I had my AC replaced 2 months ago. It was broken. Somebody came and fixed it. It's still not working. It's not cooling. Oh, okay. Let me take a look here. Thank you. Aside from that, how is everything else going? Other than that, it's fine. I mean, it's not cooling as it should. I think the unit is defective. When they came, they told me there was a leak, and they fixed the leak, but it's still not working properly. Okay, this is the right. Okay, all right. Yes. All righty. Looks like we were just out there recently. Yeah, they were, and I thought they fixed it, but it's still not working properly.
All right, let's pause this there. What are we hearing so far?
I would classify this as an upset customer. Anytime, even if they're not calling, screaming, yelling, anytime a customer is calling with a potential complaint, that's an angry caller. So I think this is a great example to really wow them and have them be like, okay, this company is going to take care of me. I feel good, because things are going to go wrong in companies. That's just going to happen. Sometimes things are going to, we're going to make mistakes. We're all human. But to me, I care more about when a company makes an error, how they respond to that error more than anything. So.
Absolutely. There's actually been some market research on that recently that showed that customers who have a negative experience with a company really base their long-term opinion on that company based on how that company responds to that negative experience. And if the company responds well, they end up having a more loyal customer to them than they would have had if the negative experience hadn't happened in the first place. So when something bad happens, and like you said, Heidi, things do go wrong. We're dealing with mechanical products here. So mechanical things go wrong, service things can happen. So when something does go wrong, this is almost even like a better opportunity to really solidify that customer's relationship with you for the rest of their lives. So we can make long-term customers even when we make a mistake or even when something goes wrong.
Yeah, exactly. So the first thing I would do, with this specific call, I would have wanted an empathy statement right away. As soon as the customer said it's something going wrong, I want to hear that care right out the gate. Then I wouldn't have jumped into rapport like she did. I think I heard her say, like, aside from this, how are you doing? I would say this is a great example of matching pace and tone for this call. No, there's nothing wrong with asking that question. It's not bad to ask, but we need to make sure we're also reading the room in a sense. And I would have gone into the listen principle more, like, tell me more about what happened with your unit, or can you give me some more details about what's going on this time? And the customer did obviously want to talk about that because that's what they ended up diving into anyway.
Absolutely. And this is one of those cases. I like how you mentioned in the beginning that you would have treated this as an angry caller. I would have too. Now we teach, the whole angry caller call flow in our coaching program, and it applies to even customers who aren't yelling, right? Even customers who aren't screaming or, super, super frustrated, even customers who might be joking about it. But if they've had a bad experience or a negative experience, we always try to apply the angry caller call flow at that point. And one thing that I like to talk with my CSRs about when we're dealing with an angry caller is care. Listen and care are really the most important principles, especially in the beginning. So really digging deep, validating their experience, and then letting them know this is not typical, right? This is not something that usually happens, but we are definitely going to take care of this for you. I didn't hear a lot of reassurance yet either. So I would have loved to hear some more care. Oh yeah, great question. A great empathy statement for in this scenario would be just that, like, oh my gosh, that's terrible. I hate to hear that that's happening after we just installed that. Well, we're definitely going to take care of that for you. That's not typical, and we're definitely going to get that taken care of for you. So that gets you your empathy, validating the experience, letting them know this is not how we typically do business. You can expect that we're going to fix it going forward, and really wraps it into that reassurance statement as well.
Yeah, I would say empathy and reassurance go together with angry callers. You don't just want to go, oh no, and then like drop it off.
Right.
You want to give an empathy statement. Like, I hate to hear that happened. Like Diane said, I usually say, oh goodness, I live in the South. My natural response is, oh goodness. Or, oh my, like, I hate to hear that. And then immediately go into, we're going to get this taken care of. Absolutely. And we'll get this resolved as soon as possible for you. We hate to hear that this happened. We don't want our customers left with this kind of experience. So we're going to do everything we can to make it right.
Yep. We're absolutely going to follow through and make this right. Yeah, absolutely. So even though she's not really technically mad, angry caller call flow would apply for her in this case.
And something else with angry callers, I usually teach my CSRs when I'm coaching them, is most angry callers call like this. They're probably like a 2 or a 3 on angry level. They're a little frustrated, but they're not mad. And most angry callers, when you get to that escalation, this is the hardest part for my CSRs, is the escalation happens because of our responses. And when we don't do that listen and care and reassure right out the gate, that's when those angry callers turn into that like 8, 9, level where they're screaming, and they say like, well, they were screaming at me. And I'm like, okay, well, let's go back and listen to the beginning of the call. And then we see, oh, they actually came in at like a 3, and I need to learn how to keep it from getting to the higher level.
Absolutely. So even, and this is something there's really something to the nuance of this, right? Like we could absolutely tick the boxes and hit all of these principles in our call. But if our customer ends up at the end of the call more frustrated than they were at the beginning of the call, customer experience is gone, right? But we haven't won that moment at all. So it doesn't even matter at that point if we've hit all of these boxes or done these things in order. It really is about how are we engaging that customer, and how are we resolving some of those feelings for them and helping them have that sounding board, get it off their chest, as well as moving into those solutions so they feel better getting off the phone than when they got on.
And that's what makes angry callers so difficult, is that each one's going to be different. And this goes back to Brigham's platinum rule. It's not teach others how you want to be treated, treat people how they want to be treated. And that really applies when it comes to upset customers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome. I love your insight, Heidi.
Oh, thank you, Diane.
Let's do this again. All right, let's keep listening to this call and see how it ends up.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I see that. Yeah. You found the leak and you repaired that and put in recharged the system and tested it multiple times. Thought that and at that time it was working. It was cooling down to 48 degrees, like for the air coming out. So it was working at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I was out of town for a few days, and I came back, and now it's on because it's really warm and it's not working properly.
Of course. Well, let's see what we can do. This definitely will be on the urgency list here. I know our schedule's a little bit busy, but so I do need to put you down for our first availability. But I will get this escalated so we can get to you sooner. Let me take a look to see what our first availability is. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that is happening, but we won't quit until we get it right for you. That's for sure.
Thank you so much.
And I believe I got a response back from you. You sent me a message about a rebate, right?
Yeah, I think that was very good, but that's a different story.
Yeah.
We can deal with that later. I really just need to work.
Yeah, no, totally understand. We just wanted to acknowledge it. It's been a busy, crazy day here as well.
I totally get it.
So I will get an answer for you about that. So let me
Thank you.
Here. All right, because at this point, the first availability I have is next Tuesday, August 9th. So I'm going to put you down for that. Like I said, I will put you on our urgency list, and I'll let our service coordinator know that you need to be at the top of the list.
August 9th, I can't. I'm busy at work. Is there anything earlier or later?
Well, at this point, nothing earlier because I've been looking at every single day. I can do Wednesday, August 10th. I can
let's do that.
7 to 9.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Or actually, I've got 7 to 9. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
I'll go down. I'll put you down for that. And like I said, I will escalate this. I'll let our service coordinator know that you need to be at the top of our priority list. So we can.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Okay, bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Have a good day.
Bye. You too. Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
All right.
Right.
How'd that end up?
I thought it was good. She did better in the second half, I would say. There were a couple things I wrote down that I would have wanted her to stay away from. But starting with the positive, I really liked that she offered urgency lists right out the gate. I'm going to put you on that urgency list, and the customer immediately appreciated that. we always want to offer urgency list before we offer our first available to let them know that we are doing everything that we can. And that you can hear it in that call. It really makes a difference when you go in that order. So I like that she said we won't quit, gave some really good reassurance. And then she also acknowledged another question the customer had asked, and I will get that answer for you. So a nice confident statement there, not I don't know, but I will find out. So I like that she said that. So all those were really positive. She did show some sympathy in there. She said, I'm sorry. But Diane, why do we say stay away from I'm sorry?
I mean, a lot of reasons actually. But sorry is really overused. Really is the main thing here. Is sorry doesn't really validate the person's experience. It's very kind of almost nonchalant in a way. It really doesn't show that person that we really are taking it as seriously and we understand the emotional impact of this for our customers. So when we say something like, I'm sorry to hear that, it really doesn't land as well as something like, gosh, I really hate to hear that, or that's terrible that happened to you, or something that really kind of goes into the more empathy than sympathy. Because sorry can kind of come off as though you feel sorry for someone or pity. And people don't really want your pity, right? People really want you to validate their experience. It's a whole different energy when you give an empathy statement versus a sympathy statement.
Yep, exactly. I also would have wanted her to avoid the let's see statement. I heard her say that. We want to try to stay away from that. That's not as reassuring. But she did add more reassurance in there that kind of brought it back home in the end. So I really liked that. And then Nathan, if Nathan, you're still there, I heard one of Nathan's least favorite phrases that he gets on me sometimes for, which is, like I said, Nathan hates it.
Does not like that one.
I said, and I heard her say that. And that's just because, like I said, can come across as rude sometimes, like we're repeating it, we're saying this again. So it's better to just repeat the statement than say, well, like I said, and then do a repeat.
Right. People think that when they say, like I said, that they're like kind of giving credence to the fact that they realize they're repeating themselves, but really it can come off as condescending, as though like, I told you this already, and now I'm telling you again, like you obviously weren't listening to me. So it really can come off as more condescending rather than endearing. So just leave that statement out. You can just leave that out. Repeat yourself if you need to. It's perfectly acceptable to do that, but don't insinuate to your customer that they weren't listening to you the first time.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. But
I also would have loved to heard a little bit more value in here. So, with an angry caller situation, value statements are going to be different. They are definitely adjusted. In this case, we could really, let our customer know that we're going to be sending out one of our senior technicians. We're going to send somebody that's going to get it right this time. And then in that value statement, I really love to hear accountability. So I would love to hear the customer say, the CSR say, I'm going to follow through. I'm making you my priority. I'm going to follow through. I'm going to follow up with you after your appointment and make sure everything's running as it should be, and you're completely satisfied with our service. So that really allows your customer to feel well taken care of, that they've gotten the right person to talk to, and that they know they can have real faith and trust that they're going to be taken care of.
Yeah. Yep. 100%. I agree. Value would have really taken it to the next level. Some value in the tech. And really, if you're going to be sending out a senior text, that's going to be what's most important to me with an angry caller. I'm going to send out the best person who can resolve this for you.
Absolutely. And of course, some gratitude also. When we're dealing with an angry caller, it's a really nice add-in to say something like, thank you so much for letting us know that this happened. I really appreciate you calling today so that we can make sure that this doesn't happen for you again or for anyone else. So putting some gratitude in, especially if you've got an angry caller, somewhere in the call can really make a difference and help diffuse some of that frustrated energy and angry energy that they may have.
Yeah. Thank you for the opportunity to make it right. We should be grateful that when angry customers call us, they are calling us to let us know, and they're not just writing that negative review. They're giving us that opportunity to make it right.
Absolutely. And we should recognize that, right? We should recognize that rather than going out and trashing our reputation online, they are giving us an opportunity to fix it before they do that. So let's take that and let's make sure that we're being really grateful that they're doing that.
Absolutely. Any questions or comments from anyone about angry callers? No?
All right.
All right, cool.
Well, this is a lot of fun. Let's do it again, Heidi.
We can call ourselves the dynamic duo now.
Let's do this. We're so glad to everybody who joined. Thank you so much for being here, guys. And we'll be doing this next week. It'll be one of our other amazing coaches that'll be on doing this call, maybe recorded next week. And if you ever have any questions about how we do quality assurance, how we do coaching, please feel free to reach out to any of us. I'm at Diane@PowerSellingPros.com. Heidi is at Heidi@PowerSellingPros.com. We are happy to help in any way we can and support you guys, because we are here for you and for all the contractors that we work with and the ones that we don't too. So let us know what we can do to help you out.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, thank you. Yeah, we should get Bobby on. We'll try to get Bobby.
We'll get Bobby. We'll work on that.
If anyone, shout out to Bobby. Bobby is running our Miss Session meetup at the end of December. And I think in December, so those group sessions, if you guys miss your coaching session, Bobby is going to run that in December. So we try to rotate that among the coaches. So you might get to see your coach. I'm running it next time at the end of October. So it's fun.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you very much. Have a great weekend and keep being positive with your customers, guys.
And thanks everyone. Bye.